Okay, so my name's Julie Fox, and I live in Portugal. I've been here for 16 years, and I met my husband here and moved to a tiny village in the middle of the country. There's probably about 50 people in this village, surrounded by countryside and nature, which I absolutely love. And we share the house with our adopted dog, Daisy. And to keep myself in and out of trouble, I run my own business. I help people travel to Portugal and help them plan out their ideal trips. I had tried various ways of investing. I was in the fortunate position through my business of actually having some spare cash, but it was sitting around not doing anything. And obviously, with the increased inflation, it was actually losing money. I'd had a couple of investments with financial advisors, and I was getting really frustrated because any profit was just being eaten up by the fees. And so I did some courses about how to invest in the stock market, but I didn't understand because I live in Portugal. I couldn't work out what platform I needed to use, how to do any of these things, and I also lacked the confidence to do it myself. And so I still had, I just had these unsatisfying investments, and I had cash that I didn't know what to do with. And I had actually just bought a flat as an investment, as a buy-to-let property. I did it all wrong. I know that now. I don't want to necessarily want to work forever. Not because I have to. I want to be able to sort of do it if I want to, but whatever. I I knew that I had some money for my retirement, but it didn't seem like enough. I didn't know how much was enough or likely to be enough. It was everything was kind of guesswork and hoping, and and that's not really enough. It's not enough of a plan. It was just I was just kind of hoping to ride the wave of the current business, continuing to generate cash and income until such a point as it doesn't, and yeah, winging it basically. I found you through Catherine Watkin and Katrina Ellis as well, but who's also I found through Catherine Watkin, and so because they were backing you and promoting you, this was the January I don't remember what you called it, the World of Wealth or something, the 5-day challenge thing that you did. I thought, well, they trust her, I trust them, so that lent you a lot of weight in my eyes. And then once I sort of watched the first day of you talking, I thought this sounds like exactly what I need, what's been missing. And I liked you. You sort of made a lot of sense to me, and yeah, I didn't even need the rest of the week. I already knew. I'm really excited about what I've done, and I sort of tell my friends, and they're like, "Wow," But I think the first thing I did was to learn about the stock, to kind of get my Degiro account opened up because I'm in Portugal, and so. Unfortunately, I don't get to have any of these stocks and shares ISAs or any of the tax-free wrappings, but I opened up the Degiro account. I began tranching in the cash that we had, and also I haven't been able to completely kick my financial advisor to the curb because I have a curator thing that's all kind of tied up too tightly, but I've liberated a big chunk of cash. I feel pretty good about it. And I mean, obviously the market has been going up and down. And I've been watching your monthly mashups with Nick, and learning more about this. But, at this point, I'm still in the accumulation phase. I'm not messing about with, sort of individual stocks and shares. I'm still kind of, laying the foundations and getting those in place. So it's interesting, but it's not really changing the strategy that I'm following, which is what you've taught. It's been a huge learning curve because not only, I mean, and I really do value the portfolio design spreadsheet because you made some suggestions as to which funds might work for different areas. So that was a really helpful starting point. So I did that, set up the brokerage accounts. I have also recently done my first structured note and started dabbling with fractional investing and sort of loans because because just as a sort of an alternative to actually get some kind of returns coming in. We have updated our wills. We've set up power of attorney for each other. We've done the Book of Death for ourselves, and I've done one for the business, which was well overdue. Our house was actually in my husband's name up until last month. And finally, it's been a long story, like hassles with the land registry and everything else, but I've finally got that in my name as well. So that's a big, huge yay. It's liberating. It's a weight off my mind, knowing that because again, before the house was actually properly in my name, but I was relying on the will. So to make sure, because there's the inheritance laws here are it's forced heirship, which means that my stepchildren would have had a part of the house, but So anyway, I've done it so that I'm not going to get kicked out of my house if they decide, they they don't want to do me at some point in the future. And everything's in place for them. For me, I've also included a charity in my will, which wasn't there before. But it's important to me, so I want that to happen. And that was actually on your advice, that it doesn't have to just go to family. I know what we need, and I'm still working out how to get there. But I feel like a lot. I actually have a path. I might stray off it from time to time. I might choose a slightly different path at some point in the future. But at the moment, at least I can kind of see a route, and some options as well. So yeah. What I've really valued, or one of the things I've really valued, is the practical information. Like a lot of courses might have said, "Oh, you need a brokerage platform," and left it at that. Yeah. Oh, okay, I know that, but where am I going to find one that works for me in living in as a foreigner in Europe? Like, how does that? Yeah. So the fact that you've been like very specific and very helpful, telling people, in the UK or different countries, which platforms might work for them, so the actual practical support has been invaluable. Going through the Financial Freedom University, the Q&A calls were invaluable to get sort of like one-to-one help, and even because the Wealth Builders was added on, so that it wasn't just 10 weeks and then you're done, because no way are you done. And so, being able to continue to have access to you afterwards and ask you stuff that, was individual to my specific situation, that's been really, really gold. I'm thinking, thinking about the opportunities and the lifestyle that I could have, and things that, for example, I want to be part of my freedom lifestyle is going on kind of at least one retreat per year, walking holidays, and living, spending like a month or 2 months, whatever, living in a different place every year. All of these different things, and there's just I don't actually need much to be happy. I am sort of very happy with simple things. I love being in nature, so I could manage on quite a lot less, considerably less than I do at the moment. But wouldn't it be nice to also be able to do these other things? And one of the things that I'm also doing through my business, I've just signed up for 1% to the Planet, And I actually intend to give more than 1%, but it's minimum. I have to give at least 1%. And so, but knowing that that's actually part of my wealth pie, like sort of it's part, I have been giving back through my business, and personally for quite some time now, but knowing that this is actually, it's part of the whole thing, that, it's even more important to give back than I actually realised. If I can get my assets generating more than they currently do, so this is why I'm sort of doing the structured notes, because at the moment the sort of the return isn't enough to make much of a difference. But um, my net worth has already increased by 20% since starting, and if I can get my assets working at the rate that I want them to, then I could hit financial freedom in about 2 years. Well, when I do, I kind of, I spend time each day, sort of making sure, thinking about what I'm grateful for, and I'm grateful for so many things. And I find, as I mentioned before, I find joy in like simple things, like, droplets on leaves and things like that. I saw a squirrel the other day and I was so happy. So, a lot of the things that bring me joy, I don't need money for. I think that's another key thing. It's like making sure that I'm doing things now, to, sort of, rather than just work, 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 work. I am making a point of spending time, doing lovely things for myself and with people that I care about, because who knows what could happen tomorrow. Frankly, my advice is like get onto Financial Freedom University and to start taking control of your life and your destiny, really. And financial well-being, because honestly, it is more than just the money. It's so much more than just the money. There's the whole, it's holistic. You kind of help with every aspect of life, and money stories and all that kind of thing, which I know I have done quite a bit of work on my money stories in the past. So I know where mine have come from, where I sort of in danger of sitting in the kind of like the lack, sort of, and worrying, was it ever going to come back if I spend it now? So I'm aware of all these things, but for people who don't know these things yet, you do cover that and teach it. So yeah, it's so important to understand who you are, why you are, what you want, and why you want that, and then how you're going to get there.